Welcome back to the channel, your number one source for everything Dallas Cowboys rumors, news, insights, and updates you won't find anywhere else. If you're a true Cowboys fan or just love staying in the loop with the NFL's hottest stories, you're in the right place. So grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's dive into one of the biggest developments buzzing in the football world right now. Could Christian Wilkins be heading to Dallas? That's right. There's growing speculation and some strong hints that the Cowboys may be eyeing the recently released defensive star. Let's unpack all the angles behind this potential blockbuster move. Now, if you're new to Christian Wilkins, let's lay down the foundation. Wilkins is no ordinary free agent. He was a first-round pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, selected 13th overall by the Miami Dolphins. Known for his high motor, elite athleticism, and disruptive presence on the defensive line, Wilkins became a household name among fans who appreciate hard-nosed, relentless defensive play. After a solid stint with the Dolphins, Wilkins signed a 4-year, $110 million contract with the Las Vegas Raiders in the 2024 offseason. That deal made headlines not just for the money but for what it signified. The Raiders were building around Wilkins, making him the centerpiece of their defensive front. But now, shockingly, things have taken a wild turn. In a move that caught many off guard, the Raiders have released Christian Wilkins. That's right, their marquee free agent signing from just months ago is now a free agent. While some sources point to cap space issues and internal restructuring as the reason for the sudden release, others believe there might have been underlying tensions between Wilkins and the Raiders' coaching staff. Whatever the case, Wilkins is on the market, and teams across the league are buzzing with interest. But one name that continues to rise to the top of that list? The Dallas Cowboys. Let's get into why this rumor is gaining real traction. The Cowboys' need for a true difference maker on the interior defensive line has been apparent for several seasons. While they've had flashes of dominance from players like Osa Odigizua and some consistent performance from rotational guys, they haven't had that elite, game-wrecking defensive tackle since the days of prime Jay Ratliff. Christian Wilkins would instantly fill that void. He's a guy who doesn't just clog up lanes, he disrupts plays before they even begin. In 2023, Wilkins posted a career-high 9 sacks, an impressive number for a defensive tackle, and added 61 total tackles and 10 tackles for loss. Those numbers speak volumes about his impact and why teams like the Cowboys are reportedly circling him. But here's where it gets interesting. Dallas has been notoriously conservative when it comes to big-name free agent signings in recent years. Under Jerry Jones' leadership, they've leaned heavily on building through the draft, developing in-house talent, and avoiding long-term financial commitments to veterans unless absolutely necessary. So, why the change now? Why would the Cowboys suddenly entertain a high-profile, expensive move like signing Christian Wilkins? The answer lies in timing and need. The Cowboys' championship window, while still open, is narrowing. With Dak Prescott still under center, CeeDee Lamb emerging as a top 3 wide receiver, and Micah Parsons wreaking havoc on opposing quarterbacks, Dallas has the pieces to compete. But what's missing is that interior force on defense that can collapse the pocket, shut down the run, and take pressure off the edge rushers. Opposing offenses have been able to double Micah Parsons or run away from him, knowing there isn't enough disruption up the middle to make them pay. Adding Wilkins could change that overnight. Imagine a defensive front with Parsons screaming off the edge and Wilkins bulldozing his way through the interior. That's nightmare fuel for quarterbacks. Another reason the rumor feels more grounded than mere speculation is the Cowboys' financial situation. Despite public perception, Dallas is in a position to make a move like this. With restructuring options available, the team can create the cap space needed to sign a player like Wilkins, especially if he's willing to agree to a contract that balances upfront guarantees with long-term flexibility. And let's not forget, Jerry Jones has never been shy about making a splash when the moment is right. If the Cowboys brass sees Wilkins as the missing piece to make a deep playoff run or even a Super Bowl push, then the front office could very well pull the trigger. Insiders around the league have started connecting the dots. Reports have emerged suggesting that members of the Cowboys scouting and personnel departments have expressed high interest in Wilkins ever since he became available. Some even say informal contact may have already been made. While nothing has been confirmed, where there's smoke, there's often fire in the NFL rumor mill. Several sources close to the team have stated that talks are at least being considered internally, and head coach Mike McCarthy has made it known that the team needs to be more physical and dominant in the trenches. Bringing in Wilkins would be a definitive answer to that challenge. Of course, it's important to consider the potential hurdles. Wilkins won't come cheap. Even though he was just released, his value around the league remains extremely high. Several teams with more cap flexibility than the Cowboys, such as the Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions, and Houston Texans, are also reportedly interested. Any deal Dallas makes would need to be both competitive and structured in a way that protects the team long term. But with the right incentives and a vision of competing for a Super Bowl, Dallas may have a strong selling point. Then there's the question of scheme fit. Would Wilkins mesh well with Dan Quinn's defensive philosophy? Absolutely. Wilkins is not just a dominant run stuffer, he's versatile enough to play multiple spots along the defensive front. He can line up at the 3 tech, slide to the nose in certain packages, and even rush from the 5 tech in a hybrid front. His presence would allow more creative blitz packages and rotations, something Quinn thrives on. The idea of pairing him with Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Sam Williams should make any defensive coordinator giddy. From Wilkins' perspective, joining the Cowboys could be appealing for several reasons. First, there's the allure of playing for one of the most iconic franchises in sports history. Second, there's the opportunity to compete immediately. Dallas is a playoff team with Super Bowl aspirations. And third, Texas has no state income tax, meaning Wilkins could take home more money compared to deals in states like California or New York. Financially, competitively, and reputationally, Dallas could be a great fit. Let's talk fan reaction for a moment. Cowboys Nation has lit up social media over this potential move. On Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube comment sections, fans are practically begging for the front office to make it happen. The consensus is clear: Dallas needs to stop playing it safe and make the kind of aggressive, win-now move that teams like the Rams, Chiefs, and Eagles have made in recent years. Bringing in Wilkins would signal to the league and to fans that the Cowboys are serious about making a run in 2025. But even beyond the fan hype, analysts are starting to warm up to the idea. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport recently mentioned Wilkins as a prime target for teams like the Cowboys, who are one piece away from elite defensive status. ESPN's Dan Orlovsky went a step further, saying that Wilkins could transform Dallas's defensive identity if paired with an already strong unit. And several former players have chimed in, suggesting that Wilkins would thrive under the spotlight of AT&T Stadium. So, what happens next? All eyes are now on the Cowboys front office. Will Jerry Jones and company make a bold move? Or will this be another case of what could have been as Wilkins signs elsewhere? Only time will tell, but the pressure is mounting. With training camp ramping up and preseason action on the horizon, any move would need to come soon for Wilkins to get fully integrated into a new system. If Dallas wants him and truly believes he's the missing link, the time to act is now. Let's not forget what's at stake. The Cowboys haven't made it past the divisional round of the playoffs in nearly 3 decades. Each season begins with hope and ends with heartbreak. If there's ever a moment to shift the narrative, to make a statement that Dallas is done waiting and ready to win now, this is it. Signing Christian Wilkins wouldn't just boost the defensive line, it would change the energy of the entire organization. It would send a message to the locker room, to the fans, and to the rest of the NFL that the Cowboys are all in. In closing, The idea of Christian Wilkins donning the star on his helmet is more than just a dream, it's a real possibility. The pieces are in place. The need is urgent. The opportunity is rare. Now it comes down to execution. If Dallas pulls this off, it could be one of the defining moments of their 2025 campaign. Until then, all we can do is wait, speculate, and hope that the front office sees what we see, a golden opportunity to upgrade the defense and chase greatness. Thanks for tuning in and sticking with us all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay on top of every twist and turn in the Cowboys offseason, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We'll be back with more deep dives, breaking news, and everything Dallas Cowboys. See you in the next one.